right. Then down 3 is installing ConvertLite. ConvertLite's a program used to convert the video you've downloaded to a Wmv file. Then you go to YouTube, find the video you want. Once you found that video, there'll be a download button on the YouTube page now to download that YouTube video. It actually looks just like this. It looks like this download button right here. You'll click on it, select the MP4 format. Once you've downloaded it successfully, how are you doing tonight? Okay. Pin is on the overhead. Hopefully you've had time. If not, I put it on the board. Just to recap what we're going to be doing tonight, go over tutorial 3 and 4 quiz is due. Hopefully you've already downloaded the files from week 3 in class exercise. If not, go ahead and do that. We'll complete the in-class exercise. After the in-class exercise, you guys are going to upload like you did last week, the in-class exercise. The in-class exercise will cover everything you have to do this week for your capstone, okay, to fulfill your rubric for this week. Then, once you've submitted your in-class exercise inside of the in-class exercise Dropbox, open up your capstone. I notice as I walk around, some of you already have your capstone open, because I need your capstone open and your rubric out so I can check mark what you have completed. Now let's say, for instance, you don't have one of the items from week 2 completed. Don't worry about it, but I need to check off what you do have completed. Does that make sense? Because by the end of week 4's session, everything on that sheet should be checked up through week 4. At the bottom of the assignments for each of the weeks, there's a list of what should be covered that week in your PowerPoint, what should be implemented. And so we'll go over that in just a second. So make sure after you upload your in-class exercise, get your rubric out, open up your capstone so I can come around and check it real quick. We'll go over your homework. No class next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you get to spend some time with your family. So let's go ahead and get started with where you need to download stuff. Week 3 in-class exercise. This week we're going to learn how to add to your capstone project from tutorials 3 and 4, adding video, adding sound, adding a slide presentation or slide transitions, adding progressive disclosures, adding charts, and adding custom bullets. These 4 files underneath number 1, you need to right-click, like I'm doing on the overhead, and save link as to your desktop. You have Wi-Fi.wmv, which is a video file, Wi-Fi.jpg, which is a picture file. We're going to use that one for the custom bullets. This is the in-class exercise PowerPoint, week 3.pptx. And then this is a finished one we'll look at, of what your end product should look like. You'll open up week 3, save it as like we did last week, and we'll do this each week. First initial, last name to your desktop. We'll begin with the comment CK11. I believe it begins on slide 10 of that presentation, week 3. We're going to add the features to the capstone one by one, just like we did last week. I'll show you the end result, what it should look like, show you what it's about, how to do it, and then you'll do it. Okay? At the end of the presentation, capstone presentation, where you've added these components, which are video, sound, side transition, progressive disclosure, chart, custom bullets. You'll not only learn how to do these, but some of these have definitions on what they are and what they mean. We'll go over that. Make sure after you've uploaded your exercise at the end, get out your capstone, and as always, help each other if need be as we're going through this to expedite and to get it done faster. So let me show you the end result first while you're downloading the files possibly on number 1 of week 3. Let me show you what the end result here. Starts out with a sound of drum roll, sound clip, which is an animation that you'll learn how to do that. Also on this slide, this is exactly the same slide from last week, slide 2, I've added progressive disclosure to these slides. You'll notice you got 3 bullets correctly. Look, mono wires, easy to set up, and universal connections. Now watch when I hit the space bar. Hit the space bar once, twice, 3 times. And all it's doing there is, it's called progressive disclosure, where objects move one at a time on a slide by either a space bar, mouse click, right arrow, left arrow, up arrow, down arrow. Okay? Next, same deal. I did a different progressive disclosure on this one, you'll notice. I did an underline. Under each point, as I bring it up, it underlines those points in the presentation. This one has no progressive disclosure on it. This one does. It brings them in one at a time. You'll notice by default, nothing's brought in. It's just blank. You could discuss something, and then as you're bringing up the topic, you bring them in one at a time. Hardware, discuss what hardware. Modem, what a modem is. Configurations, what configurations you're talking about. Security, test. And then this slide, no progressive disclosure, none on this as well. This one does not have progressive disclosure. This one does. It bolds each bullet one at a time. Then this one's a video. This is a Wmv file, which is the only file format I recommend for PowerPoint. This one actually plays automatically as the slide is loaded. And we'll do that, and I'll show you how to do that tonight. Now, one of the things also that you'll learn, one of the things you'll also learn about video tonight is I do have a step-by-step I'll go over in just a second while we're talking about video when we get to that section on how to install a plugin at home, to go to youtube.com once you've installed that plugin, download a YouTube video as an MP4 file, and then there's a conversion software that you've got to download as well to convert that MP4 file to a Wmv file, and then you're allowed to import that into PowerPoint. Now all that sounds really difficult, but I've given a detailed step-by-step with videos that I've just created on how to do each and every item. That way there's no question. Okay? And so you'll be able to do that. Because one of the things I want to warn against is YouTube videos. YouTube videos are, number one, need a very good internet connection with high bandwidth, because YouTube uses a lot of bandwidth. And what that basically is, it's a memory and resource hog on your network. Okay? You're dragging a video down from some server maybe in Bangladesh, because they literally have servers in Bangladesh, and it could be there. They have servers all over the world, YouTube does. And you're dragging it from that server location to here, through all those pipes and routers and switches. Some of them might be fast, some of them might be slow. But we've all seen YouTube videos when they load, and then they freeze. So I would never recommend, I highly recommend not using a YouTube video for any type of presentation. Even though I have in the lessons folder a plugin that you can use, I would say use that possibly for informal type of presentations where it's really not going to matter. You're not trying to impress someone. If you're trying to impress someone and get things done right, always use a downloaded video, preferably a Wmv file, which is a Windows Media video file, which we'll talk more about that later. Because at the end of next week, before you leave, you'll have checked off everything of your capstone. The only thing you'll have pending will be a couple items, I believe. One of them being packaging your CD into a presentation, or your presentation into a CD. And you'll be needing that video that you embedded this next week, or next 2 weeks, actually, I have 2 weeks to work with it, into your presentation. PowerPoint, pictures that you guys bring into PowerPoint, embeds it into the PowerPoint file. You don't need an extra picture out there with the PowerPoint. Sound, if you have like an MP3 file you put into a PowerPoint, you do need that in addition to your PowerPoint file in the same location that that PowerPoint was created. And that can be difficult sometimes, especially if you create a PowerPoint at home and you've got an audio dug deep in your hard drive. Well, if you bring that PowerPoint to work with that same audio file in the same folder, that doesn't mean it's going to play. It has to be mapped directly to the location of where that audio file is located. Same with video. If you have a video in a presentation, which we're going to learn how to do tonight, you have to have that video mapped exclusively to that file path in that presentation. So what I generally do if I have a presentation that has a video on it, before the presentation I make sure all those map stuff's working. If it's not mapped right, you can remap it by either re-embedding the video. They do have what's called a link fix. What that means is if you open up a PowerPoint that has a video embedded in, like this one here, it's embedded but it's linked as well. This video can be mislinked and have to relink it, okay? And so it'll actually tell you, do you need to relink this video, as an example. And so there's just a couple notes, and we'll go over more in just a little bit when we go through the exercise. So this is a video that plays automatically when it comes into the slide. This slide here, another progressive disclosure. This one kind of flies in, kind of twists and slides in. And then this one is a custom bullet slide. You'll learn how to do this. This is one of the pictures you download, that Wi-Fi.jpg I have you download on number 1. You'll notice it's using a progressive disclosure coming from bottom up. And then a chart is also one of the things you'll learn tonight, how to embed a chart into a PowerPoint. And then finally, another progressive disclosure of a slide transition along with an animation sound clip of a hand clap. Now, one of the things I did notice I was going through the presentation, I'll end and go again real quick, is you'll notice on the first slide, I'll do it again, it comes in from the left to the right. Now watch on the second slide. Still left to the right. Third slide, right to the left. Fourth slide, left to the right. So when you do a slide transitions, and you'll do this tonight, and also you'll be doing it on your capstone, you want to make sure and have your slide transitions be alternate and of the same family. What I mean by that is, this one is called wipe left, wipe right. Wipe left, wipe right. That's all I use throughout the entire presentation. You don't want to make it too complex, meaning adding more than that, because it can be confusing to the viewers. Not that you can't add more, but you wouldn't want to. Okay? So, everybody have everything downloaded. And you've got the test or the week 3 renamed to first initial last name on your desktop, and it's opened up, right? Who needs more time on that? Okay, let me give you a few moments to get that, because we have to get that done before and we do have a lot to cover, and I'm going to go pretty quick. This is recorded, and I did up it to higher definition, so I know some of you had a hard time reading the video or seeing it, so apologize for that. I did email everybody about iTunes. I'm having issues on that, but I will have it in YouTube format, but I'm bumping up the quality to be a little bit better, hopefully, so I apologize if it was a little grainy prior. So on slide 10, let's go ahead and click on the CK11. It says here, we're going to add a Wmv file called Wi-Fi.wmv. Now, Wi-Fi.wmv is a Windows media format, which I've already talked about a little bit. That's the format I recommend using. Before we do that, let's go ahead and click on this CK15. By default, when you add a video, it's going to want you to click on the video with your mouse to play it. The reason I don't like that is there's been a lot of presentations I've given where I've just let the default, and you always forget, I do, maybe you wouldn't, I always forget to click it with my mouse. And I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm like, okay, what'd I do wrong? Well, I left the default, which is click with your mouse, then it plays. So I always change it to the automatic, which we'll see it in just a second how to do that. That means when it comes to the slide that it's on, it begins to play, okay? And there's some other options we'll talk about too. So let's do this. You'll notice on this slide, there's 6 options here. I'm hovering with my mouse on the overhead. The one we want is the insert media clip. Do what now? Okay, you might have the wrong presentation you saved as. Yeah, that's the final one. You don't want that. Exit out. You want week 3. Week 3. You want the week 3 one. Okay. Yep. And go to slide 10. And click on it. There you go. Okay. Now, everybody go and click on the movie reel one with me, if you would. When you click on that, it's going to give you a dialogue, file dialogue prompt, and it says insert movie. Everybody should have that, right? What we're going to do is go to the area where you had you download the files, which was desktop, right? So your computer desktop. So click on the desktop on the left side, and you should see a Wi-Fi file. It just says Wi-Fi on it. When you click on it, one time with your mouse, click OK, or you could actually double click on it as well, and it would do the same thing. So click on it, click OK. It's going to now do this to the slide, and I want to talk about that before we do anything. Excuse me? That looks like that might be the one. Yeah, go ahead and click that, see if that's it. You might have just renamed it possibly. And click OK. Okay, you're good. Okay, now let's talk about this dialogue for a second. It does have a show help in here that says, do you want the movie to start in the slideshow? Now, notice the options here. And they've added this feature here in one of the versions of PowerPoint, which I like. Notice it says automatically or when clicked. If you were to just click the red X on this, which I've done a lot, it'll by default give you the when clicked. But I need everybody to click on the automatically, if you would, for me. The automatically does just that. It'll play this video file automatically. Now, also, you can resize videos. The danger of that is pixelating the video, making it look too grainy. I don't recommend doing that then, okay? So YouTube videos are going to be fairly small, about like that, okay, what I have you use, okay? And that's fine. You can get larger formats, but this is just for practice. And so let's say, for instance, you videotape something yourself with a high-definition video camera. The video you brought in would be much larger than that by default, the size would, okay? So just like a picture, a video, if we were to spread this out, which we could, when we played it, it would be really granulated. So let's do this real quick. At the top of the toolbar here, you'll notice you've got some tools available. If you do not see them, do this for me. Click on the video one time, and you'll see picture tools and movie tools show up, okay? If you click on the Format tab right here that my mouse is hovering over, and then Options tab. Format tab is for pictures, meaning yes, you can apply picture formats to a video, meaning I can put in here a shadow on a video just like I could a picture, which kind of looks kind of cool, adding a shadow effect. Now, I don't have you do that for the exercise, but we can do that if we want to while we're playing with it. Also, the Options tab, I better go and click on that. This is the one I want to kind of focus on for a second. You'll notice right now on the left side under Movie Options, right here under Movie Options, if you click on the drop down to the right of Play Movie, it says automatically, and then you have two other options. One is when clicked, and the other is Play Across Slides, okay? Play Across Slides means just that. It would play a video if it went long. As you were continuing on with the presentation, the video would play in place of all the other slides, on top of all the other slides, basically, wherever it's located. I've done that before. It's kind of confusing, but it's there. I haven't used the purpose of it, but it is there for your use. The only purpose I've ever used, options I've used in video is automatically or when clicked. Okay?
It'll know when to pick it up by itself.
Yes, as soon as the slide loads, and we're going to practice it in just a second, it'll start playing. So go and make sure, and it says automatically. The other one you'll notice you want to be careful of is a play full screen. Now, that goes back to what I mentioned earlier. The size of the video it is right now is going to be the best quality that you can get for that YouTube video that I've downloaded for you. It is a pretty small one, but it's just for practice. If we were to go to full screen, or play full screen, it would just do that. When it comes to the slide, it would play that video full screen. And then when it's done with that video, it would go on to the next slide once you hit the space bar, once it's finished. Okay? The other one you'll notice is loop until stopped. I have used this one before for company displays for different products and things of that nature, where I had a video on a presentation and I literally had one slide with one video and it just kept looping that video over and over again. That's all it did. Okay? Rewind movie after playing, same thing. Say you're running a presentation over and over again where people are coming by your booth in a conference and you want it to rewind after every play to show a next customer as they come by instead of manually having to do it. That's a nice feature as well. I've used that before for that purpose. But for general presentation purpose, like we're learning tonight, generally you're going to use automatically when you add the video. I recommend not resizing it. Not that you can't play with it and see what it looks like being resized in full screen, because it might look fine. But I've just seen it a lot of times it looks kind of grainy. Okay? So let's go and do this. At the bottom of your PowerPoint program, let's go ahead and click on the slideshow button right here where my mouse is, and it's going to play this video. Now, some of you don't have sound, most of you don't.
You want the freedom to work anywhere.
So it's got sound.
Then you need to go wireless.
Along with the video.
That's how you set up your own wireless home network.
Now, if I wanted to pause a video and talk about something, all I have to do is hit the space bar one time. Now, you can go ahead and do that. It'll stop the video right where it's at. If I hit the space bar again, it's going to continue on. Now, there's times I've used that for, say, I didn't want to play a whole video. I only wanted to play a portion, like the first 30 seconds. It might be a 2-minute video. I've used it for that purpose as well. Okay, go ahead and hit the escape key. Now, let's go ahead and try this just to see what it looks like, because I know some of you are wondering what it might look like. Click on the video again. Let's go up to options. This time I want you to click the play full screen option. Okay?
I lost my option bar.
If you lost the option bar, click on the video one time with your mouse, left click on it, and it should show up. Okay? Then click on options, and then make sure and check mark play full screen in the movie options. Then click the slideshow. Can you see how granulated this one is?
Then you need to go wireless.
Oh well.
That's how you set up your own wireless home network.
Okay. Hit escape twice to exit out of it. All right. So we've added a video. We've also made sure it played automatically. While we're talking about video, let me stop for just a second. Go and do a Control-S to save where you're at, because I want to go back to the steps you're going to do to get to where I was on the overhead with that video.
You might have to leave it on play.
Leave it right where it's at. Just go ahead and hit escape. You'll have to hit escape to get out of presentation mode, but go ahead and do a Control-S. I want to show you, and I want you guys to stay right where you're at. I don't want you to go where I'm going, just to save confusion. Okay, just go ahead and look on the overhead. Inside of week 3, there's a week 3 download and convert YouTube video to WMV. I'm going to go ahead and go through this real quick. This is something you're going to do on your own at home, because this takes a little bit to do this, okay? But I'm going to walk through it and show you the videos I have in here. Yes?
I just have a question. The YouTube downloader not do the same thing? Just one I have to use it many times.
That's what YouTube Downloader is. Yep, that's the exact program it uses. Yeah, it's the same one. So if you're using YouTube Downloader, it's the same program. made by the same company. Okay, so on this step-by-step use YouTube videos in a PowerPoint, you're going to download, I recommend Firefox. This is supposed to work with Internet Explorer and Chrome, both, and Firefox, all three. I've only played with it with Firefox. It says it will work with other browsers, but I'd recommend Firefox to do it. This best video downloader, one Dan mentioned, let me just show you what he's talking about. Just kind of stay right there and I'll show you. At home, you could do it this way as well, which is a long way around it. You go to Tools, Add-ons, and I could just type in YouTube. And was it the easy YouTube video downloader, Dan? That you did? I think it is.
Actually, it was a
Yep.
confidence.
And you'll notice this is the one I've always used, the easy YouTube video downloader. Notice it's the bestvideoloader.com, the one I'm having you actually download from the site. Once you download this plugin, you'll see what it does in a second on YouTube website. In fact, I'll go ahead and just to show you what it looks like real quick, click install. I'll have to restart my browser. And again, you're not doing this, just watching me do it. Okay, I've already added it now. Now, so you'll start up that Convert Lite program and convert it, the MP4 file to the WMV4 video. There is a tutorial here, I'll go ahead and click on to show you, of how to do that.
Okay, this is a Convert Lite.
So this walks you through Convert Lite, exactly step by step, how to do it from start to finish. And what this does
Downloaded the video from YouTube.
is actually goes through and converts that video to a WMV file. That's what you'll end up with right there, okay? And that WMV file is the one that you use to insert into YouTube, okay? So this is step by step, how to do it. I also have another video here on the YouTube. Let me show you that.
Okay, I believe downloaded the plugin for YouTube.
I'll just forward fast it.
Which is found in
Okay, just walks you through. You'll notice, I'll pause it real quick.
We should
There's
download
a,
all of them?
do what now?
So we should download all of them?
Yeah, you just follow the step by step and go through it. This is the download button. It just shows you a video step by step how to do it. Now this screen, you'll notice how small it is. There's a button here in YouTube right here on the bottom right. I don't know if you can see it. It's right over where my mouse is on the bottom right of my screen. If I click on this little icon right here, it looks like a TV. It's going to take that video and go into full screen mode for me, or it should. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You might have to do this. Right click on there, open a new window. Let's see if that works better. There we go. That works better.
Okay, what do you,
Full screen mode that way. Might be easier for you.
YouTube.
Okay? So that's a step-by-step of how I got that WMV file that you guys just imported into PowerPoint. So do these step-by-step to do it, steps 1 through 7, to where you finally insert that video. Okay? So if you watch these videos, go step-by-step, you should have no problem with it. Okay, let's go back to your slide 10, is where we left off at. We finished that. Everybody did Control S. We're now on slide 11. Slide 11, I'm not having you do anything on this one. Not yet anyway. Slide 12, let's go there. Slide 12 has a couple comments in here, a 10 and a 13 comment. If you click on the 10, this is to add custom bullets. We're going to use that wi-fi.jpg I had you download on number 1 for the in-class exercise. Also, on the next note, we're going to add progressive disclosure to all slides with more than one bullet point on the slide. Okay, what that means is if you have a slide that only has one bullet point, you're not putting progressive disclosure on that. If a slide has 2 or more, progressive disclosure applies, and we'll go through that again. That's where the bullets come in one by one, and or in different order, or how in different effects. We'll show you how to do that. It's kind of fun. So let's do the first one, which is converting this list right here to a custom bullet. It's pretty simple. All you need to do is first highlight the list that you're wanting to add the custom bullets to. So select the entire list with your mouse. Once you've selected the list with your mouse, then at the top, make sure you're on the Home tab if you're not already there. Right here in the paragraph section for bullets, where my mouse is hovering over, left click on the drop down to the right of bullets, and you'll get this show up. And you'll want to go down to bullets and numbering and click on that. And then you'll get this dialog pop up. Everybody have that? Then go and click the picture button. The picture button on the bottom right. We're almost done. And then the bottom left has an import button. Click that. And here's where you're going to click on the desktop, and then that Wi-Fi image, which the icon should look different. The image of the Wi-Fi movie looks like a movie reel. The icon image does. The icon image for the picture looks like a picture icon. Okay? So click on the Wi-Fi picture, and then click Add. It'll show up in your picture bullet selection, and then click OK. And then do Control S, and I'm going to come around and see how you... All right. So going back to this. So yeah, custom bullets is only for that machine. Once you've created it, it's there on that machine for further purpose, further use. The next thing we were doing on this slide was after custom bullets was the progressive disclosure. This is going to take a little time, so let me just show you real quick, and then I'm going to have you go at it. Progressive disclosure. To apply progressive disclosure to your slides, you're going to have to be in the view we're in right now, which is in the normal view. Okay? You can't do progressive disclosure in the slide sorter view like this right here. Cannot do it in this view, only in the normal view. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and start up with slide, if you want to scroll all the way up to slide 2 on your presentation. Slide 2 on your presentation has a picture, couple pictures, and a text box with bullet points. Okay? Here's what you have to do. Click on the text box one time. Click on the text box one time to where it looks like mine. It's highlighted it. Okay? Then you're going to go to the Animations tab. And boop. Sorry. 2010, a little different, 2007. Give me a second. Okay. I'm on a progressive disclosure on that slide. Okay.
It's funny, you can move that mouse as fast as you can.
I know. After I get the steps here for this version, I will help you. 2010 is a little different. Sorry. I'll figure it out here.
I have no doubt.
Okay. There we go. Very good. No. Entrance. You have to actually click on 2007, something like that. Okay, whatever. 2010 spoiled me already. Okay, so click on the box. You've already done that, right? Now you've got to do this. I'll get back to where I was, where you guys are at. Click on the box. Then you've got to go over here to Animation. animation, and then I think I just got rid of, no, your guys might be in a different place. It might be on the right side. So I deleted mine. Custom animation, do you see that on the animation slide anywhere? Okay. It might be different on mine because I deleted mine earlier. So click on custom animations, okay? You don't have what I have, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. Click on the add effect, and then entrance, and we'll do like blinds as the first one. Now you'll notice when I did that, it added a 1, 2, 3. What that means is it's going to come in that order. This one's going to be first, this one's going to be second, this is going to be third. Now, you'll notice when I click on these now, one by one, it gives me on the right side all of the line by line. I can move these now by clicking on one by one, dragging it below, dragging it up, yada yada. See, we'll notice that the numbers move when I do that. Yes? That's fine. No, that's fine. I'm going to do it all over again. So let me go ahead and start back to where I was. Get back, get rid of that. Okay. Text box, click on it. Animation, custom animation. Add effects, entrance, and just go ahead and do blinds to play with, okay? Now, you'll notice when you do blinds to play with, in fact, I did not do it to the whole text box that time. Let me do it again. I don't want it that way. You got to click on it on the 2007. See where the solid line is on my selection? Okay, I've got it that, because I think I had dotted lines earlier. Can't do that. See what this looks like. Yes, okay. So let me show you what I did. It's a little finicky. Okay. So you select it. This isn't good enough. Can't do that. Doesn't work on 2007. You got to click on it one more time to where it's solid. The line's solid. Because if you don't do that, it's only going to apply to one. So the line's solid, meaning everything in there is selected. Then go to the add effect, and then blind, or blinds. It'll sit there and process. Now when you click on one of these numbers over here, notice it shows up all three of them on the right side, okay, like it should. All right? So let me come around and help you because I know that one's kind of tricky. Now, just let me know, I know some of you have 2000. How many has 2010 at home that you use? Okay. All right. Next, we are on slide 14. Slide 14. We're going to add this right here. Boom. We're going to add a chart that for this presentation says how long it takes to set up a Wi-Fi network in minutes. Set up, security, connect, and test. Okay? Just a real simple chart. So in order to do that, let me do it first, then you guys can do it. Some of you have had Excel. There is an Excel portion here that you'll fill in data, but don't get overwhelmed. It's not real difficult. So all you need to do is we're going to insert a chart, and I'll do this one time and you guys can do it. I'm going to go ahead and use this clustered column. Click OK. It takes a bit because what it's doing is not only adding the chart, but notice it gives me a split screen here. On the left side is my chart. On the right side is my data. The chart's going to be used to populate. Now the cool thing about what we're doing here is once you put your data in and we close the right side out, further on when you're working on this, it's easy just to double click on that chart and to go back in and edit that data. So let me show you. For this one, I'm only going to need 2 columns and I believe 4 rows. So I'm going to highlight C and D and delete. And then for the series here, I'm going to put minutes. Or time in minutes. And then for the category, let me see what I put there. Setup, security, connect, test.
How do we hit delete?
Don't worry about it right now. Just kind of watch me and then you can do it. I might have something wrong on mine. Connect. Shouldn't be getting that error, so I'll find out what I'm doing wrong here in a second. All right. And then here we'll just put in some numbers right now. 15, 10, 5, 5. And then close it. And then here's my chart. Now, if I wanted to double click on this chart or get the data back in here that I wanted, edit the data, right click and edit data. It then brings up that again. So say I might make a change here. Testing. Just go close it. It'll update it. So this chart's actually embedded in the PowerPoint slide. Let me get rid of that custom animation. It's embedded in the PowerPoint slide, and then to edit data, just right-click, edit data. So I'll start at the beginning again on this one. For those of you just now starting, you'll click on the Insert Chart button, select a chart type. I think I did cluster. You don't have to do that one. You can do any of these column ones. You can do, whatever you want to. Let's see, I'll do a different one this time. Maybe do a stacked column. Yeah, I'll stick with that one. Click OK. All right. Delete. Now, if you get these prompts like I do, let's do this. If you guys are getting those prompts like that, I'm just going to hit the Office button and close it. And then go back into the data. See if that works. Yeah, it looks like that works. Bless you. Okay, let me just go over what I just did. So you don't get those prompts every 5 seconds. Because it looks like 2007 you get prompts every 5 seconds whenever you do something. So let's do this. You'll click Insert Chart. Everybody will do the cluster column. Click OK. Get rid of column C and D. Just highlight C and D. Right-click, delete. You'll get this little thing pops up. Hit the Office button, close. Then go back, right-click, edit data. And you should no longer hopefully get the little bink, bink, bink every 5 seconds. All right, so let me write the categories up here for you so you can have it. And you can just put time. You don't have to put in minutes. Security. Connect. And test. And then here just put in, where I'm going to put in 15, 5, 5, and 5. Just like that. Once you've added all that data in on the right side, you'll just hit the Office button and close. Office button and close. I'll keep it up there so you can see it.
Where did you pull this Excel file from?
Do we know?
Where did you pull this Excel file from?
Oh, it creates it. It creates it within PowerPoint to populate the chart.
Where did you get the data from?
You're creating the data. It's just a template it gives you to start with, a default template. Yeah, It's just a default template.
So that, those categories and numbers that were there just for the point of manipulation.
Correcto mundo. Yep. Just point of manipulation. Had nothing to do with your presentation. Just a template to start with, and you can massage it however you want to. Yeah. Your keyboard's not working. That's not good. All right. Let's see if we can fix it. Uh-oh. I see a problemo here. I'll try it. Tell me if it works. Yes. Good. Looking good. You guys are going along quite well. For this next 2 weeks, because you have 2 weeks to finish up between weeks 3 and 4 before we meet again. Charts, students always they really freak out about charts for some reason in this class. I don't know why. But let me just ease your pain a little bit. Okay? Think of your presentation of what you're doing it on, okay? And choose something in a presentation that can be a list of items, whatever it might be. I don't care what it is. And that list can be quantitatively broken up, meaning by percentage, this, and this, up to 100% or whatever, okay? Or like I did in this one, by time. So anything that's by time, by percentage, is good for any type of chart, okay? If you need help with an idea for your presentation, see me before you leave and I'll give you some ideas to help you. Yes?
Can you use the Excel formula every time?
Nope. PowerPoint. Yep. Yeah, and that's PowerPoint it uses, it is interconnected, correct. And so when you go to add an Excel chart or a chart, it's actually adding an Excel chart into PowerPoint. That's why it takes a little bit to kind of render everything, because it's embedding the chart, boom, bringing it up on the right for you to edit the data, and then you're closing it, but it's all part of one system, which is Office. So, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure you've done a control S if you haven't already done so. Next slide, slide 15. 2 more comments here. One is add slide transitions to all slides and make sure they alternate. Example, alternate wipe left with wipe right. That doesn't sound good. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Or I've had a long day. I don't know. Probably both. All right, so I just thought of something. Our grandson's getting ready to potty train. That's all I could think of. Okay, and then after we do that, you're going to add applause to the beginning slide, or this slide, I'm sorry, applause to this slide, which I'll show you how to do, and drum roll to slide 1. So let's do the first one, which is slide transition. Now, for this, you need to go, and you don't need to, but the best way to do it, the easiest way, is to go in the slide sorter view, okay? Remember the slide sorter view right here? Click on that. Then what it shows you is a global view of all of your slides. And what's cool is this right here, if you look on the overhead. I like to do it this way, because I really could care less about text right now or pictures or images. I just want to see everything globally in one screen. It's kind of like your canvas here of what it's going to look like. So let me show you. I'm going to start with slide 1 and go to, animations. And the first slide here, you'll notice you have different options. If you look on the overhead, I'll bring it down to where I can see it. You guys can see it. You can do different transitions. I like to just find the one that you like. Use something besides the wipe one. I'm tired of saying wipe. So let's see. Maybe it'll show you when you click on it. What about this one? Wipe? No, I don't want that as wipe in there too. Wedge. That's I don't know. Let's see. Box. Oh, box. We'll try that one. Okay, well, I can do box. Now, look at this. I've got box on the very first one. Now, notice on the right side here, I should have more options for me for the box, which way it comes in, and I don't. Okay, 2010, difference here, highlight for you, that's 2010. 2010, you click on the main family, like this one right here, like box, and over here on the right, it gives you more options for box. Here, you can either do, looks like, box in and then box out. So if you're going to do that one, I would alternate that. So the first slide, box in, second slide, and I could bring this down to where I don't have to keep going up and down, box out. Box in.
I read that you do something differently.
Yeah, you want to alternate like I'm doing here. So as you go through, you alternate. When you click on the preview button, if you look on the overhead, you click on the preview button, it'll show you what it looks like per slide as you're clicking on it. All right? So find a transition that you like and then alternate it. Make sure the transition's the same family. Like I'm using box in, box out. That should be for every slide, either box in or box out. So I'm going to start with box in, box out, box in, box out, box in, box out. Yes?
Every single slide manually. If you do a manual, why not just go through random?
Well, I don't like random. Some people love random. I don't. You might like random. And I don't care if you use random, Dan. But I want you to know how to do it manually if you want to. Now, some people I know love to use random for everything, and that's fine. On that one, basically, what Dan's talking about, I can select all my slides here, right, like this, and I can come up here to the very top. Notice there's no transition, fade smoothly, da-da-da-da, have dissolve, keep going down, random, see the random ones? Random bars vertical, random bars horizontal, and then also you've got the question mark one, which is totally random transition. It's going to do it at once. Okay? Now notice on this one, if I click this, it goes through all my slides and again just applies a random transition to everything. Okay? If you want to do that for this and for yours, that's great. I don't care. Just as long as I know that you know how to do the manually thing one by one if you want to. Yes? Yeah, you could. You're right. That's the next thing I'm going to show. You can hit the control key on the slides that you are, well, you have to click them one at a time. Boom, boom. There you go. One at a time. There we go. Got them all selected, right? Then I go to my one I selected earlier, which was box in, I believe. Yeah, box in. So notice it's applying box in to all those ones I did a control click on. Then control on the other ones. And this one we're going to do box out. So that would be a quicker way to do it. Thank you, Dan.
You just hit control, or just tap on
Yeah, control click like I'm doing right here. Just press and hold your control key on your keyboard. And as you do that, you can click select or deselect slides like I'm doing on the overhead. So thanks for bringing it up, Dan. So that's going to make it quicker too. If you are going to do random or, you know, like I'm wanting you to do for the exercise today, where it's alternating, control click the alternate slides, apply that transition to all those slides, and then control click the remaining slides. Okay?
How do I make it safe frame?
Make sure you're not letting go of the control key. Mundo. You know, now, Dan, if you've not already done it, don't worry about it. Okay? I'm not going to get onto you for it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's do this for me. Click on the normal view, if you would. Click on the normal view. And we have comment 16 here. You're going to add applause to this slide, and then you're going to add animation applause to this slide and animation drum roll to the first slide. Pretty simple. For this one, click on the slide over here on the left side with your mouse. slide 15. Go to animations. This was pretty simple where it says transition sound. Right now it should say no sound, does it not? Click on that and let's go to applause. Go to applause and I'll turn my sound down. And it's actually done that. It's applied applause now to that transition. Now if I click on custom animation for this slide, it's not going to show up because what I've just done is I've done a transition sound. It has nothing to do with custom animation. It's just a transition sound. As that transition is happening, the sound's being applied to the slide. Okay? So that's the last slide is applause. Go all the way to the first slide. You're going to do an animation of drum roll. Then Control S and then F5 and go through your presentation. And just to recap on advancing presentation, what's the ways we can advance?
Right arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Bar,
Yep. What else?
and down.
Up and down. Can we use a mouse? Yes, we can use a mouse. Okay. So go through your presentation real quick, make sure everything's working fine, transitions, your progressive disclosures, your video, all the way to the graph or the chart we added in. If everything's working correctly. And on that video one, you can, if you keep hitting the space bar on the video, once you know it starts playing, you can keep advancing. You can force it to go on by hitting the space bar or any other advanced keys. Now you're not going to hear sound on it, but if you have on that slide, you've selected it and it says applause or whatever you've selected, it will work. Okay? Once you've saved that file, go ahead and put that in week 3's exercise Dropbox, which should be your first initial last name on your desktop. And then bring up your capstone project along with your rubric sheet